My mom told me not to talk to strangers on the internet, but I'm glad I didn't listen. We are the Certified Noonas, your sisters in the love of Asian entertainment.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Natalia.
And I'm Sky.
And before we start recording today's episode, we just want to make a note that if it sounds a little different, we are trying a different system for recording to see if we like it better. So if it sounds different, that's why.
Because it's different.
So today we are doing dun 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 dun. It's the Newsnas once again. That's right. We're back with all the hot entertainment news.
It's been a while.
It's been a while since we did some Newsnas. So I believe Jessie, you're going to bring us in with the first segment.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring you in with some of the hard news so that you can sit on it and then feel better later with all the rest of the good news that we will bring you. That's right. I am going to tell you about the enlistments of the past 2 months.
2.5, like it's been a while.
The enlistments we could remember. We may have missed a few.
I'm sure.
Apologies.
I tried really hard to always bookmark them when I see them, but yeah. We're not perfect. We've never claimed
we try
to
our
be.
best.
We just try our best, and that's all that matters. Anyway, so for enlistments, Dawn of Day 6, he enlisted on the 17th of January. He is not the last person in the group to enlist, but he was the next one on the chopping block. He is going to be joining the military band. Actor Nam Da-ram and ATEEZ June enlisted on February 7th.
Proud of him for Nam Da-ram. Like, I feel
just
like
going
we
in
that
early.
into being. Like, good job, kid.
I really think he did.
Wise
he was the
choices.
smart one in all of this. Get it done now when you're super popular and you're just in that position where you're switching from,
child
young
actor to a
child actor, high school roles to more main roles. We're still in COVID. It's a perfect time to do this.
It is. He'll come back with his military body ready for, to be a grown college age.
Yeah. Yeah, it's perfect. So Block B's PO and Day 6's Wonpil are going to be listening on the same day on March 28th. So coming up fairly soon. PO is going to be joining the Marines, and Wonpil is going to be joining the Navy, which is the first idol to join the Navy.
That's shocking.
It is shocking, but I looked around and all my news sources say that's true. So I wonder, I don't know if it's harder to get into the Navy or is it just not something what they want to do. I do know that it's a longer sentence. So it's 2 or 3 extra months. So maybe that's why.
Yeah, maybe people don't want to have to do that.
Oh. Yesterday or the day before, he was on a radio show and everybody started requesting every title that had water in the name.
Yeah. That's cute.
That's adorable.
SF9's Insong will enlist on March 21st, and Young Bin will enlist on March 29th. So sorry, SF9 people. Also in ACE's members, Byung Kwan is going to be enlisting on April 11th, and he will be at KAT USA. I don't know if they call it Katsusa or not. I like to say Katsusa.
Katsusa sounds nice. I like it.
That is the same branch that Young K is currently serving under. It's the Korean and side that works with the U.S.
So they need them English speakers.
Yes.
English speakers gotta go there.
He is technically, after Young K, the second idol to ever join that. It's also a really hard place to get into. I think it's fairly popular to get into, but also you have to take a super hard quiz to be able to pass to get in, because you don't get translators in this job. You have to be able to communicate with any of the U.S. military there. So good for him. Golcha, Golden Child's Daeyol, will be enlisting soon. There's no update on the date yet, but he will be enlisting soon. So in people, we got back all the way back in December.
It's been a while, friends. It's been a while.
To be specific, Roy Kim came back. On January 14th, Lee Sang-hoon from Winner was discharged. And then on February 8th, actor Park Sun-ho was discharged. And then just recently, not recently, February 13th, it seems that it was recently, even though we're in March.
Feels
I can't believe we're
recent.
in March. EXO Suho came back.
He came back just in time for Valentine's Day.
He did.
And speaking of love, we're now on our second segment, which is this is a newer segment that we've decided to do every month, and that is the weddings and babies and engagement segment.
We felt we needed it.
We're bringing you, we're bringing you back up. Like, you might be a little bummed out about those enlistments, but don't worry, we got love to tell you about. So, top of the list, our sweet, sweet chaos children, Hyuna and Dawn, got engaged.
Woo!
And Dawn got in just the most ridiculous rings that are so them that it's not even funny how them they are. Ji-yeon of Tiara is marrying a baseball star, Hwang Jae-gyun. That good for them.
It's a nice looking couple.
And in, big news that the K-drama world is all over, Sun Ye-jin and Hyun Bin have announced their engagement, which I think we all sort of knew it was coming. Like,
she apparently, with her official Instagram, she liked a wedding photographer's or followed a wedding photographer and then immediately unfollowed him.
No.
And then the next day she made the official announcement.
She was like, all right, guys, I told on myself. My bad.
Wrong account.
Park Shin-hee and Choi Tae-joon got married and their wedding photos were so wonderful.
They were so pretty.
Gorgeous. Her dresses were so pretty.
Oh, gorgeous. Honey Lee is pregnant. Good for her.
Yay! Good for her.
And in Taiwan, the evermore couple of Annie Chen and George Hu are engaged after 8 years. I did have a good laugh about their engagement story where he wanted to bring her up onto a mountain and be all romantic, but the mountain was a little more hard to climb than he was expecting, and she got really annoyed at him, and then so they made it all the way. So they made it all the way down the mountain, and he just proposed in the parking lot.
Perfect.
So
it can only go up from there.
That's true.
It's delightful. So
celebrities, they're just like us.
You know what? I'm so happy they're engaged.
Me too.
I'm shocked we didn't know they were dating for that many years. That was a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I suspected. No.
I had a feeling.
Together. I just
as an empath, I had a feeling.
Right, Jessie. So, Sky, what is some news you would like to bring us today? This fine day.
So, the Korean drama W2 Worlds. A lot of people know about it. It was back a few years ago. There's going to get a Chinese remake. Tencent and Dacheng Entertainment will be doing that. It's slated to begin in March. Shooting period of 15 days. That seems super short.
For a show that requires a lot of one action and two special effects, that does seem like a suspiciously
I'll be curious to see what they do.
Episodes or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they'll make maybe it'll be a mini series or something.
Yeah.
No announcement about main leads yet that we've seen come across. But I'm super excited about that because there's already a Thai remake of W.
That's true.
Called Switch On, and that's on Viki in case anyone's curious.
And wasn't there rumors of an American version coming?
Yes, there was.
Right?
Yes.
On CW or something. So
the CW's been going
sold
through
it everywhere. They were like, okay, people want to watch what they want to watch. We'll just sell it to every country.
Yeah, but the CW's been having its own
They've been having some
problems.
issues.
So I feel like it might be on the back burner for the old CW for a little while.
It'll be interesting to see for this one the original W2 Worlds was set in webtoon or comic book, that was kind of the fantasy side of it. So then the Thai version, they did video game instead, kind of like a narrative video game. And so it'll be interesting to see the Chinese one, which platform they'll kind of use for the fictitious, not that the whole thing's fictitious, the fantasy side of it.
It would be very typical for a Chinese one to be like a novel. You know, like that they
like an isekai
just
type
actual, web novel or something.
Common trope.
I'll follow up with your remake news. India is actually doing a remake of Something in the Rain. So apparently they've done a few. Like there's been an Indian remake of Uncle, and another one that in the news release that I saw listed it as international market, but I can't find a drama called International Market, but I think it might have been that Pegasus Market one that came out. And apparently both were very well received. India's on a big Korea Hallyu wave right now, and my Indian friends are saying stuff. They're like, boy, that the mom in that was horrible, and the moms in Indian dramas are even worse.
Wild. The moms in Indian dramas are wild.
Maybe that's why they picked it up. They're like, this is something we can get people.
It's like, I can get the producers in India are like, ooh, I can get behind this.
Or they think this is bad. Bad mom.
You
will show them
nothing yet.
Well, we'll see.
In Japanese animation world, two of the bigger internationally places to watch anime are Funimation and Crunchyroll. And back last year, Sony, who owns Crunchyroll, bought out Funimation. At the beginning of this month, Funimation's library was transferred over to Crunchyroll as their part of their way to combine the two services into one service, kind of just basically Crunchyroll, underneath everything. It's good in that all of the titles went over to Crunchyroll. They didn't try to pick and choose. Also, Funimation had a subsidiary called Wakanim. I probably butchered that, but all of that content also went over to Crunchyroll as well.
That's awesome, though.
So now you will only have one subscription place to buy from, and as of right now the prices haven't changed, and I don't think they're going to change for a while. And I think they're doing some specials over at Crunchyroll to get new people to join in, so this might be the time to get a subscription.
And I feel like the Funimation and the Crunchyroll prices were very similar.
Yeah, so and they had pretty much the same
the same vibe.
Yeah, the vibe and the way that they did a lot of their stuff. So I don't think in terms of different platforms it's going to be that big of a switch. I'm sure people who are super into one or the other gonna have opinion about it. Really, I don't subscribe to any of them. I used to Crunchyroll way back when I first started getting into K-dramas and stuff, because they did have some J-dramas on there, and I think they still do. They just don't have a lot, so it's not really a place to go for that. But it means a lot more with the amount of things that you'll have access to, because they do dub and sub there too. Funimation had a huge in-house dub team and that sort of thing, so that's
I wonder if that's moving over too.
They said everything. The only thing that is currently going to be at Funimation is any series that is current. They're going to keep up with the new episodes of that
until they're
done with those series. As of the 1st of this month, March, it's all moved over to Crunchyroll. So
well, that's awesome, because I have Crunchyroll and I always wanted to watch stuff, and I'd be like, oh, I really want to watch this anime. I'd be like, it's on Funimation. I'm like, I cannot justify
you just
getting a second subscription. I have so many subscriptions. Don't do this to me.
It would be kind of funny though, if there was an anime over on Funimation that they're like, okay, it's current, so we'll keep up until it ends. But if it was something, I'm not saying One Piece in particular, but One Piece is an example.
One Piece was Crunchyroll. One Piece was already Crunchyroll.
But something like that long running, it would just be
hundreds
really
and hundreds. Eventually, it's going to be the only thing on Funimation.
They're not Funimation anymore. They're One Piece Funimation.
It was a house that's for sale that had this giant library in it.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
That huge library, and I saw somebody post it, and they're like, finally, the house for the person buying all of One Piece.
That's great.
I love it. Speaking of streaming services,
oh my God.
Disney Plus has announced that it's going to add 20 Korean shows and films, along with 12 new Korean, I assume, original content releasing this year. This is semi-great. And I say it's semi-great because I'm like, yeah, put all the stuff on there, okay? But on the other hand, please let me watch it.
Yeah. It's really hard to be sitting here and like watching other people watch it up to date. And I'm like,
and this is, I've noticed that Disney has not been doing this with just Korean entertainment. So they bought a GMM TV show to release on Hotstar, which is like Disney Plus in Asia. And so this is what I find frustrating about it, is that the people who now have access to this show, they just be posting stuff all over the internet, having a grand old time with these shows. And I'm just sitting here like, but I want to be having a grand old time with these shows. Can I have these shows? And they're like, here's 4 episodes of Snowdrop. I know you don't really want to watch that one. You want to watch all the other shows we have. Yeah. But here you go, you little serf. And I'm just like, listen, Disney Plus, you already own it. Please just
share it.
Post it. We want to watch it.
Netflix all over again, right? When Netflix first started getting into currently airing K-dramas, and they were like, okay, Something in the Rain. These 3 countries get to watch it as it airs, and these ones get it a week late, and this one gets it like 6 months later, and this one gets it a year. And you're like, just drop it. You have the rights.
But it doesn't make any sense because Netflix did all the work and like did all the like problems and figured out what they needed to do and what made everybody happy and got them the most money. Disney they did Plus that work. Disney Plus doesn't have to do that. They could just put it out. You know they have enough money, whether they want to give it or not. They have enough money to be securing these titles. I know that like money is an issue for other places. Like even though I know Vicky's doing very well, especially because they don't have to pay their subbers. They don't have that out of cost. But like I can still understand why they can't get some of these shows because it's like multi-million-dollar deals. And I get that. But Disney Plus, I don't get.
No, and the Disney Plus one, because a lot of it is they're produced by Disney Plus. And we would like to watch these things.
You're making content.
We pay for Disney.
Share it with us.
Disney Plus. Please give me the content I would like to watch on Disney Plus that I paid for Disney Plus for. And they're like, maybe later.
Even that Running Man like adjacent show. I really thought they were squaring that up for pretty much like, yay, international audiences. Like I really figured they were going to just tap into that as soon as possible, and they just aren't.
It's confusing.
It's
and
the
I
strangest
think they
thing.
are doing seasons of that too. I think it's going to be a regular thing.
Yeah. And
so maybe once the season completes, but like
Disney Plus, I really want to watch Grid, okay?
Yeah.
Can you just let me watch Grid?
Your competition is Netflix. Step it up.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Listen, Disney Plus.
If you just want it to be Disney, then just be Disney. But you want to be Netflix, then be Netflix. Like, just
act like it.
So frustrating. So frustrating. So Disney Plus, we love that you're adding all this content, but you know we'd love more to be able to watch it. I'm tired. Listen, I'm tired of seeing all the spoilers on Twitter of people having fun watching these shows I want to watch. Okay, I don't want to pirate your shows. I don't want to do it.
You don't want us to pirate? Okay, then offer them within a valid period of time.
New from Disney Plus, this amazing looking K-drama. Ooh, new from Disney Plus, a buddy cop drama starring Kang Daniel, which is like, I have a giant poster of him behind me right now. Right? Like, I would like to watch the buddy cop comedy with Kang Daniel in it, but Disney Plus is like, maybe next year. Like, I know it's airing and you can see spoilers all over Twitter, but
and that's kind of since we live in a very globalized internet society, it's like you can't drop content like that. Just this
you really
corner.
can't.
You can't.
Like, I'm sorry. Everybody who is excited to be watching these shows also knows where to pirate these shows. Yeah. Like, I think you're actually like losing a lot more than you realize.
I was actually discussing this because there's 2 fairly popular Thai shows that are currently airing, My Ride and Love Stage. And they started airing them with absolutely no international rollout for them. Like, literally none. Like, so we're on week 6 of My Ride, and Gaga Ulala just picked it up. Like, for tomorrow, to like, as we're recording this. to start airing. And no one's picked up Love Stage. And Love Stage is based on a very popular Japanese manga, which was also a movie that was also popular. And I'm just like, why would you not have, like, people want to watch this? And it has like a pretty well liked ship as the main couple. And I'm like, listen, okay, I didn't personally pirate it. Okay, I need to point
But I
this
might have been
out.
on the ship that.
But I've seen things. Just
Well, and
you're
like
losing
my
money.
ride.
You're losing so much money.
Author
It just
for
doesn't
my
make
ride
sense.
is Thai, but he tweets mostly in English because he knows most of his fan base is outside of Thailand.
Like he was one
and
of
he
the
was
first.
so frustrated. He's like, I don't know, like, guys, I don't know why there's no subs. I don't know why they're not sharing
And
it
their
with everybody.
company
I'm
is
sorry.
probably like upset too, because the only reason they are trying to go to these places is to pick up the international access. And yes, there are some countries that would normally not get it being access to it. And I think that's really great. But like, you want the international access because then that brings in more money, and then you can do more things and keep a constant stream
more
giving
money
over to
means
like
more
that sort of thing.
investments, means
But if
more
they are like
interest.
actively not doing that, and then a good percentage, I'm pretty sure it's a good enough percentage that they are getting hurt with sales or going over to pirate, whether it's good or not, like people are going to do it.
Yeah.
Especially when it's airing right now. If it's airing one place, someone's going to rip it and put it on those pirated sites.
Well, it's like, it's not like, this is to the point that these two shows, people wanted them so much that they literally paid someone to subtitle it themselves.
Yeah.
The people are going to watch it. You might as well get paid. You know? Like,
Yep.
Anyway, Disney, bring it back. Disney Plus. Stop being foolish. This is just a plan to get people to pirate your shows.
Yeah, it's
That's
not
it.
like helping you get like people to like give
this is
like,
the perfect way.
give you memberships.
This is the perfect way to get people to not pay you money that you could easily be getting paid. And I thought Disney loved making money.
You would think.
You would think.
You would think.
So Fantagio, and for those of you who don't know who Fantagio is, they are a entertainment, music, and actor company. So they have Astro and Waiki Mikey, and then a handful of other people. Actor side too, they have some actors. So Fantagio has never put forth production money for a drama before. They are now entering the ring for giving production money to their first drama production. And so they're not just starting with something small.
Oh no, they're going balls out with this one.
They're throwing money at OCN for Blind, that's great. So
yes,
starring
Taecyeon, like
listen,
whoa,
that's just success right there. Success. You've done it.
So I'm proud that Fantagio, they've gone through a lot of crud over the years. I'm just proud that they at least picked a winner to like throw their money at. It's a pretty sure bet that there will be viewers of that show.
Yeah, because like even if the show's not the best show, still go watch it.
It's gonna be popular enough.
OCN and Taecyeon. Like I'm gonna watch it. You know,
you have some guaranteed viewer pockets right there. So.
I'm going to at least start it. Okay, I know it's supposed to be like more like law stuff or whatever, but if it has Taecyeon,
and it's on OCN.
I figured out for me, I don't want to watch law shows, but I end up watching law shows. Like it just happens, and I've just accepted it.
And in absolutely no surprise, I love law shows.
But if I watch about 3 at a time, like at the same time, I'm like, okay, everyone's a prosecutor, and I'm kind of done with it. So like I have, it's
like me with medical dramas. Like I don't like medical dramas, but I keep watching medical dramas, and I'm like,
they keep getting drawn in.
At some
they
point,
get you.
Yeah.
At some point, I'm gonna have to change my stance, and maybe I do watch medical.
I do like medical dramas. What is this?
Like I feel like I actively collect like con artist type dramas.
Mhm.
But then I've kind of realized, like, I kind of collect the prosecutor ones too, don't I? That sucks.
I
Like,
mean,
I've just realized.
maybe a little.
Lawyers
Well,
are kind of
like,
con
listen,
artists.
If your
so,
faves,
you know.
if your faves could stop being cast in legal dramas,
Yeah.
It's really their problem. It's their fault that I'm
Right,
watching
it's not-
these.
Right.
So last month or 2 months ago, Jay Park announced that he was stepping down as the CEO of AOMG and Hire, the labels that he started. I think he's still kind of involved. He's just not the boss anymore. Kind of like when Simon D stepped down. He's still around. Simon D did it because he wanted to focus on his music and just be an artist again and not be dealing with all the, corporate shenanigans. Jay stepped down and people weren't really sure why. It was a bit of a surprise to a lot of people. He had been talking for months and months about retiring, but people took that more as he wanted to retire from music. Like he didn't want to make music anymore. He was just going to be a businessman now. So when he stops being a businessman, it's like, what are you doing, Joe? So he just this week started these teasers and these not really clear what it is, but he's got apparently a new venture starting up called More Vision. It's more laughter and more love and more fun. And that's about all it
Is
says.
that on
Is
his
this a
side?
cult? Jay, are you starting a cult, Jay? I have questions.
What somebody mentioned to me, and I sort of looked into it and heard some rumors about this, but he apparently had talked about wanting to get into the idol game and actually start an idol group. And so there's some suggestion that this might be a new sort of connected label or agency for that to try and break into the idol market. So we'll see. He's got his sort of rappers and hip hop and R&B stuff going on, and now he's gonna. Maybe that's what this is. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's another soju label. I don't know. I don't know what he does.
like
that's his own thing,
it would make sense if this was for like idols because the marketing different. There's a huge difference between marketing an idol group and marketing like hip hop artists.
Yeah.
So that would make sense that like having them under different labels would
it
be
needs
easier
to be
connect.
something separate, right?
Separate it,
Because you can't just run it like the family full of schlubs that do their thing. Like it needs a little more structure than that. So if that's is what it is, then that could be cool, could be interesting. His sort of thing, if you go on YouTube, you can watch the video. It's very Jay, like it's very, I'm gonna revolutionize things and change things up. I'm doing something new that nobody's seen before. And you're like,
okay, buddy.
It's not the
job.
real Jay. Like people already, but I'm sure he will do some great things. He has a good eye for talent. So that's great. Hopefully it's good for whoever he recruits and whatever he's doing.
So my last story was about two companies merging so that you only had one subscription cost. And now I'm going to take that away and talk about another company that is branching out and now a new place that you're probably going to have to throw some money at if you want to be watching some of these new K-dramas. What do they officially call it? So the OTT, I think, is what they officially call those internet subscription services or whatever. TVing, which is under a bunch of stuff. It has partners with CG Entertainment and that sort of thing. They ended up reaching a deal with Viacom, who owns Paramount. So Paramount Plus, I think you've heard, is another subscription service here in North America. They've partnered with them to release K-dramas under Paramount Plus. They have 7 dramas so far. The first one that was announced is the sci-fi drama Yonder. It will be released. Here's the thing. It's not going to be released everywhere.
They're making it complicated,
Paramount
man.
Plus is only available in the States, I think. So.
And one of the things that they are going to do is sometime this year, Paramount Plus is going to venture to Korea as an option there. So Koreans, you also have it bad. It's another place to go for these places, okay? But so here's where it will be released. And although articles are kind of hard to like figure out because it's a lot of people copying either a bad, poorly translated thing, or you have to go to the original thing. It's Google Translate and stuff. So what it seems like on everything that I can find, it's going to be released as a new thing in Korea. I can't remember actually what studio it's under, but TVN or whatever. But it will be released in Latin America, Canada, and Australia. US, sorry.
Perfect. US, fuck you. Just you've had it good for too long, US.
So Paramount Plus isn't even available in Canada, but like Canada gets that show?
I guess so. Maybe Paramount
Maybe
Plus
they're going to release
gonna-
Paramount Plus in Canada, or maybe like it'll be on Crave or something. Like I don't know where stuff from Paramount Plus
No.
ends
Because
up.
that's the big issue with Paramount Plus is that they yoinked all their Star Trek stuff back, right? And people
So they
were
have
losing
to.
their minds because Trekkies all over the world were like just losing their minds because like there's nowhere to watch Star Trek anymore legally because it's all
maybe
on a streaming service that nobody else has access to.
Well, wait.
They must be-
I think
are
they
they-
just launched Paramount Plus in Canada because I just did a quick Google.
because
and
I
it
didn't know that
says-
was a thing, so I didn't like look to see if it wasn't anywhere else. I just knew that everybody was saying that was going to Korea. But
It's saying it's giving me a Canadian price for Paramount Plus, so
there you go. So maybe it's happening. I mean, like it's fairly new here too. That subscription, it's maybe last year or so is when it came out here. So it's relatively new. But then they also have other areas that the Kdrama will be coming to, and for me, that makes me believe it's coming after it's aired.
Yeah.
And that's the UK, Germany, Switzerland, and Austria. So congratulations, all those countries.
Yeah, I'm glad you get to watch the sci-fi K-drama that
I know
really
we
watch.
get a lot of stuff, but like Paramount Plus is ours. Why don't we even get it? So 7 so far. I'm sure it's going to keep continuing, especially with push with Disney Plus and with Netflix. Paramount Plus is going to want to enter the chat and that, and so I know that's going to be a bigger thing. Yeah.
So do you remember when we used to have cable subscriptions and pay a lot for cable subscriptions?
We always said we didn't want it to be able just to pick what we wanted to watch,
and now we're
take
starting.
Take it back.
Yeah,
take it back.
Like if you add it all together.
God, even when like these places are like, ooh, only like $9 a month, and you're like 9 times 40, like sure.
I saw somebody posting, I can't remember what show it was, but they were talking about some subscription service that's like doesn't have a lot on it. So people were like, I don't want to pay for that. And somebody's like, but I really want to watch this show. And they were like tweeting about it and they were like, I guess I'm gonna get it. And somebody else like it looked to me like complete stranger and was like, bestie, you give me a login, I'll give you my login for this one. Like,
I think that's what everybody's doing.
Listen,
now.
sharing logins, like this is what we're forced to.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest. A few of us on this podcast share a couple logins. It's okay, we do what we do. We're family.
How else would we do research for our
Exactly, we're
podcast?
family.
if you would like to help us out, patreon.com/certifiednudas.
Yeah, certified nudas. Then we could afford our own subscription.
And the Canadian line could get the Paramount Plus subscription and watch 7 shows.
Yeah,
we can all watch it. So I'm gonna take it back to some K-pop because shenanigans have been afoot. Okay, big old shenanigans. So we all know ATEEZ. We know them. We love them. Good chaps. Little pirates doing their little piratey things. Well,
different type of pirates than what we've been.
Yeah, very different pirates. Like, listen, we don't know what they do in their spare time. We're talking legitimate, like actual pirates as a concept, not pirates as a enjoying media they have not paid for.
Not pirates that take over ships.
Yeah, no, we're talking pirates, swashbucklers. Time travel. They're time traveling magic pirates. Okay, that's their whole deal. Okay, that's their first song was called Pirate King. Like they were very clear with what they were giving to the world. Recently, two separate incidences have happened at almost the same time.
What was there like a week in between?
Like maybe
Yeah, it
a
was
week
very
in
close to each
between,
other.
like if that, which shows that some other people in K-pop are real jealous of that pirate concept and they wish it was theirs. That's right. They've been allegedly, though it's less alleged than you would think, been plagiarized from. They have had their concept and one of their songs just taken. I'll start with the song thing because the song thing is slightly more complicated and weird than the other one. So there was a like survival, like group building style show called My Teen Girl. And they performed a song called Sun, which when you listen to it, there was like a real vibe of, I heard this before.
Right in the chorus.
Yeah, right in the chorus. Sounds suspiciously like that Summer Bop Wave by ATEEZ. So people were like, that's really freaking weird that is so similar. So the mentor for this group was a member of G-Idol, Soyeon, and she had partially worked on the song. And apparently, according to Cube, now this could just be PR, we don't know, right? They sent a request to the Edenary production team, which is the production team that works on ATEEZ's stuff, to credit them in the song for sampling the entire chorus. And Edenary said, no.
No, you just
But
wanted it.
they did it anyway. Apparently, they only told them this like an hour before the song was released. And according to KQ, which is the company that ATEEZ is part of, they were added to the credits of the song without their knowledge or permission. So Cube is apologizing. Soyeon's apologizing. Everyone's apologizing. Very suspicious.
I want to give one tiny footnote.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So back when ATEEZ was promoting the Wave song, do you want to know what girl group was promoting at the same time?
Yes, what a curious... Listen, we don't want to get into conspiracy theories here.
I'm just saying.
But it's a little sus, okay? The whole situation is sus. But you want to know what situation is even more sus? JYP's at it again, baby. Just a few months ago, they were under fire because their emo band group, their logo looked a lot like Monsta X's logo. Mm-hmm. So you would think after this sort of slight shabacle that they would be a little more careful with where they're getting inspiration from. That's apparently not the case because the new girl group Enmix basically just has ATEEZ's entire deal. literally their
that
entire
music
deal
video is basically
they took bits of various ATEEZ music videos, put them in a jar, shook them
around, and then just refilmed them. Like you can look at them side by side, and you're like, what the hell? Their like fandom name is Answer. So like Answer, guys. They got like the compass shit. They got the flying ship. They've got everything. And like even like the marketing lingo that they have for like their storyline, it's like, you know that meme where it's like, hey, can I copy your homework? Like, oh yeah, but change it so like nobody knows. Like it's literally that. And listen, I'm not holding this against Enmix. They're like 16-year-old girls.
Yeah, they had no.
Yeah, they have no say in any of this. And of course, dead silence from JYP. Just the company is like, nothing going on, business as usual.
That they were like, I don't know what their hand signal is, but like people were like, it's basically an M and an X together, and everyone's like, Monsta X already does that.
Yeah,
they
like
already do that.
Yeah. Listen, if you don't have a good idea, like if you don't have an original idea for a concept, just don't do a concept. It's really not that hard.
It's also at the point right now, you know that people get attached to their groups and know every little bit of that group. So maybe when you're starting a new group, you don't make it easy for these fans to literally go within like 20 minutes of that Enmix music video coming out, I saw the Twitter threads on people where they literally
put
matched
side
up
by
pictures side by side.
And it's like the K-pop fandom is just a huge fandom of internet detectives with elephant memories. They forget nothing.
And the younger ones have nothing else to be
They
doing.
got nothing else going on. School's online, baby. So are they. Like,
and like I will say that like in terms of like what some of the stuff that's in the music video, the person who actually produced it, like who actually made it, would be someone, I don't know if it's an in-house person or not, but it could very well be someone they brought in to do it and was the person who stole credit for, stole a lot of these things or saw them in the passing and put it in here. However, JYPE is supposed to also pick that up. And
they're all supposed to vet it. Like, you're supposed to have people on there with their finger on the pulse of what exists to prevent plagiarism claims, because you do not want to be in the middle of a plagiarism claim.
Because even if they have the money, it's still like annoying, and time and a little bit of their money is being taken away when these copyright things happen.
Because you need to bring in your legal team, and But this one, I don't know. Like, listen, I'm not a lawyer here, but this one seems pretty cut and dry with old Natalia. Like,
plagiarism like this is not new to K-pop. Like, you can find, in particular, Black fans will have. They have receipts and credits of all of these videos that 100% get stolen, drop for drop, because Korea's nobody's watching them anyway. It's fine. But like,
this one is wild.
Don't steal. You're stealing from. It's right next door. Like,
the call's coming from inside the house, JYP.
People are definitely watching both.
Like,
well, so it would have been a little less shocking to me because, okay, I follow a lot of ATEEZ stuff, so I saw the fire pretty quick, and I saw some really bad reactions to it too. So I'm not saying that the fans are handling it well.
No, they never do. They never do as a unit. So,
but it would be one thing if, like, oh, the music video shot for shot. Okay, music video, whatever. Like, what was kind of extra fun? Not funny. It's odd to me as far as the fandom name and all of the marketing,
the imagery,
and then the storyline. They have the little kind of intro storyline to the group. It does feel like pretty much they took the ATEEZ one and copied my homework. Like, I mean, it's just really the way they did just across the board. It's like, wow, that was a choice.
And like, it's kind of, if you compare it to another thing. So like Everglow, they're recent.
Yeah, they did a pirate theme.
They did a pirate theme, and they were able to switch it up to like be a different kind of thing. And it's not inherently that
it's not that
NMIX is doing pirates.
Yeah, there's many different ways to do pirates. Okay.
Yeah,
but
it's like, just some of these, like, if you look at the Twitter threads where they have them side for side, they're like super close to, even to the point where the filters are the same colors of, like, especially the ship in the sky one. It's like the same filters for both of them. They're the same colors. Even it's like the ship just was in a different position. Like, it maybe changed a little bit of stuff, but not much.
The costuming being like, it's just, I would be totally cool with NMIX being pirates. Sure, girl pirate group. The concept across the board, like, love it. Do it, love it. I would be all about it.
But
you
maybe not time traveling space pirates searching for the answer to their journey.
It's like in their
sort of pirate,
planning room. They were sitting there and they were like, okay, what we want to do is like a hardcore girl group, like something like ATEEZ, and all they heard was ATEEZ. no, not like that.
Not
ATEEZ. Actually, ATEEZ.
Like, shameful.
And, I mean, I feel really bad for the girls. I really do.
I do. Like, they have no choice in any of this. But this is going to fuck up their debut. Also, the song was...
The song is
a little unfortunate. I kind of enjoy it, but I enjoy all 8 songs that
it
is. Like,
I'm just going to say, if you jam it, like, for more than a month down my throat, that this is a singing group, and you give a singing group a song that's largely not for singers
Mhm.
and mostly computer generated stuff or stuff that is straining their voices to no end, especially when they're like 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
You can't give me that. You just can't and make me believe and want that for those girls.
Right.
Same. Same.
And then also yanking the concept from somebody else.
Yeah.
Don't do that as well. Like,
Hey,
Also
they're
don't,
just
also don't,
setting
also don't
them up
plagiarize.
to fail.
Okay, don't.
Right?
they're not like specific. It's not going to really hurt them in the long run. Like, doesn't mean that like they aren't hurt by it because it's not their fault.
Well,
All
it's
this
like
stuff is not their
ATEEZ
fault.
isn't going to get hurt by this in the long run.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
who's going to?
Well, you want to
ATEEZ
guess?
is going to be fine.
You want to guess what song's charting? Wave.
Wave. Yeah. Like, listen, ATEEZ is coming. Like, whoever gets plagiarized from comes out on top. So, like, this is like free marketing for ATEEZ at this point. You know, this whole
You
sort
feel
of
bad
ATEEZ,
for the rookies. Like,
yeah, I feel really bad for them because they're the ones who get blamed for it when they had little to
Mhm.
nothing to do with it. But this whole thing reminds me of the meme where it's like, if I had a nickel for every time someone in the span of a week plagiarized ATEEZ, I've had 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
Yeah.
And I do hope that like the only problem I have with like the girl from Idol, Idol, I don't
yeah.
know. She's made like herself known as a writer even before she debuted with that group and has been like writing a lot of stuff and like to the point she's getting a lot of like contacts and people are like talking to her actively to produce her stuff. I really hope that this, if it really wasn't her to do it, because we still don't know, but I would assume probably not. But like, who knows?
Yeah.
She's also young, so who knows? She might just not know things. But like, I hope it doesn't like slow her down or in turn do that stupid thing where people of the male variety are like, oh, this is why we don't give the girls the credits.
or
And
opportunities or any of that.
It's a bad situation all around because especially with like this artistic stuff, it really does hurt when people constantly do this. And it's so prevalent in the art world. And like being someone who's in the art world, it just like sucks that it's a constant issue that we all have to deal with. And it's just sad that it's happening because it's the artist who, like the person who did ATEEZ's music videos, it will never really be named in all of this, but they're the ones that are like actually hurt the most. And they're not going to ever have that say or like anybody will really think of them when they think of these things. They kind of only think of like who's presenting, like the groups or the
production
companies.
designer of ATEEZ's music video is who got ripped off from this.
Yeah, and I mean, like people do get like more credit in like terms of songs and stuff, but it's still like it was their work. They put in those hours to make something for ATEEZ, and then someone just uses it flippantly on another song and then it's like, oh, we can just give you credit, and that you're like, no, that's not how it works because I did the work, you have to pay me for it. That's not how it works at all.
I can't pay my bills and exposure, bitch. Give me the cash. Yeah, you want a sample? Fine,
give it to me.
Imagine if, I mean, this happens periodically within K-pop, just like K-pop groups and stuff, but if it happened that often, like every week, if every week it was this consistent, it would be just terrible. And that's why that's why the entertainment companies need to like pay attention.
Yeah, and also be held responsible when this happens. We can't just be like, oh, whatever, it's just one thing.
Right.
One thing constantly will take. And already when you have a K-pop, which inherently took from Black creators just in its infancy and its beginning and its start and continues to do so, it will never get better if even the small things like this
get let go.
They don't address it. It's just gonna always be a thing.
So do better.
And it shouldn't be, oh, this company just never said anything about it. It's like, no, they should at least at the very least have to say something.
Yeah.
More like they should get sued, but whatever. So we'll see if anything ever comes of like some aspects of it. It sure does seem like for the song Sun, seems like the companies are definitely talking to each other. Cube and KQ are definitely talking about that.
Yeah,
one.
I think that also I didn't really research it, but I thought I saw one thing that the big problem was because it was a registered song. She registered it onto what is it, the Comca or whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
So there's like another entity that's also part of it that like I think that's why it's like more of an issue, because they could also be like, oh, we're gonna pull all of your stuff or like investigate you a lot. Like, I think that's why it's becoming a bit more.
And I do feel sorry for her in particular, because let's say that part of the song wasn't the part that she even worked on.
Which is entirely possible.
Yeah. As the story goes, she is the one that requested that she like eventually recognized it and was like, we need to credit them. So she's the one that's like, please credit them.
Yeah.
And then if it ends up screwing her up ultimately, and she's not even the one that caused it at all, like that's awful. And if her other songs or if her future opportunities get messed up by that, like it's just really bad. And of course, ATEEZ or even Edenary, they wouldn't want to screw up her in particular. Like, no, it's
I don't think they're a vindictive group. Listen, they're not those, assholes who go after,
But it's one of those things where, like, if you don't do something about it, then people think they can get away with it, right?
Yeah.
Like in the States, when you have something copyrighted, if somebody if your name is copyrighted for some reason, if somebody tries to use your name and you don't go after them, every time, if there's one time that they can prove that you knew about it and you didn't do it, then your copyright expires. You're out of luck. I know somebody who copyrighted her roller derby name, and she writes under that name, and she feels like a jerk, but she has had to go to people and be like, you can't use that as your roller derby name. You can't use that as it's mine and I own it. And people think she's a horrible person because why are you going after this like little person who's nobody?
You're like, listen, I'm not suing you. I'm just asking you not to use it. Like
I have to, or else I lose it. Like I lose my trademark if I don't go after it every time. And it's like that. Like if you just, oh well, I guess you sampled their song without permission, then everybody's going to sample your stuff without permission. Like it's a business. You got to treat it like one.
It'll be interesting to see if KQ does anything about the NMix situation, honestly.
Because, like, technically you can't copyright a concept. But, I feel like I'm not sure if KQ can do anything about it. But I feel like the artists who produced the music video could probably do something about it.
Back to Kdramas. Arthdal Chronicles. It has been many moons since we have heard anything about, because that's pre-pandemic, man.
It's COVID, man. COVID got us all.
That is like really. I remember when we recorded, we have a reaction to the first 2 episodes or whatever episode
that was
on the channel. Ago. And I was at my parents' house when we recorded it.
That was forever ago.
Yeah.
So the way Arthdal Chronicles ended, I'm not going to do any spoilers at all, but it was very like building up to having season 2.
It was very much cliffhanger.
It was also in the news. Like it was a known thing that there was going to be more.
Right.
Yeah.
So officially, they'll be returning for a season 2, which is good because we really did think it was possible that the pandemic wiped this out, essentially. Especially, a lot of time has passed. It really has, especially
and
knowing
it has such a big cast.
Right, such a big cast. Can you imagine how long it takes for that production, So now they're announcing that they're going to start production on it. It's going to take them quite a while to be able to make season 2.
Because like a big fantasy show takes a while to film because of sets, cast, costumes,
and then throw the pandemic in there on top of all of it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a thing. But they aim to air in 2023. So that'll be pretty quick if they're able to be able, there's a lot to do. So Studio Dragon plans to produce it, and then in collaboration still with YLab. We've brought up YLab before and a couple of other Newsnas, but YLab is kind of the section that they take care of webtoon of things. So like for instance, Island, like YLab and Studio Dragon. Like there's a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
So YLab is supposedly going to be producing the webtoon of Arthdal. So that'll be interesting to see as well.
It'll make a good
So-
one too.
Folks that are into that, which I think Natalia and I really enjoyed.
I'm really
My-
into
Oh,
it.
you're-
Very
I
you're
watched
kidding,
it
Amanda.
with my son, and my son has like every couple of months. So is there any word on that?
Well,
I'm
listen, you
like,
can now go tell
a
him
while ago,
tomorrow.
I
Be
was
like,
like-
guess what?
Yeah.
Guess what?
I was like, listen, baby, you can't hold your breath. Like this is, I think it's gone. But now,
Because it's been a long time.
Like a phoenix from the ashes, it rises.
I wonder if it's gonna have all the same cast or if some of the characters will be recast.
Oh.
Like that third season of that Love featuring Marriage and Divorce
Yeah, like
Mhm.
has like 3 different actors in it.
yeah, I think that Sun
From the
Moon
original.
left, didn't he? Like,
Yeah.
he
Yeah, I
left
saw
after
something
season
about
two.
that. Yeah.
So, which I mean, it's been this long. People might have different commitments. They might have,
Can you imagine if you had to recast? I can't even think of his name right now. The one that played
Song-Ji.
twins. Yeah.
Yeah,
Song Joong Ki. Yeah,
Imagine if you had to recast him. That would be really
yeah, that would be.
I
wild.
feel like he's probably returning.
I feel
We
like that's
hope.
probably why they announced it. They like finally maybe that's
Yeah.
part of the reason
Maybe
that
they
were
got the
waiting.
main actors and they were like, okay, we're doing it. Like,
Because maybe
We
this was
can
like a thing that was
recast.
like broached for like a while ago, but they were like, okay, Vincenzo, and then his other one that he has coming up
Mm.
on Netflix,
Mm.
the conglomerate one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
oh yeah, the tribal son. Or
Maybe they
whatever.
waited
Yeah,
until
yeah.
that was
That was
done or
done.
something. Also, COVID. It probably mostly COVID.
Also COVID.
Let's just be
yeah.
real.
We got big news in the K-pop world. Big Bang has a comeback coming, like
Yes.
the end of March. Woohoo!
Yeah.
So
Like,
excited. so
Everybody
excited.
woke up to this news and was like losing their minds.
I
Like
know.
people were so
Ugh.
excited. It's so exciting. I'm not sure there's an actual specific date, but it's like
I don't
end of
think so.
March or
Yeah.
something. That is
Yeah.
what they said.
Soon.
Yeah, soon.
Soon.
So, but like, we're all like, okay, you were gonna do Coachella like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it was. Like, we know there's music.
Right
out there.
before
There's
the
no way, like,
pandemic hit,
Dragon
Coachella was on the
get on his
horizon.
mind, right? Like, come on. So that's good. This news though has been kind of coupled with Top has his contract with YG is over and it has not been renewed. He is going off on his own.
He's free, baby.
But it sounds good for him. Like there's
Well,
solo work being announced. He like
well, at
he
first,
was just
what
in a
I-
magazine and
What I thought
they
was kind of
announced that.
funny was they were like, "Yes, Top is leaving. Like he'll still do Big Bang, but he wants to focus on the art thing." And then it was like this morning was like, "Just kidding. Top has a solo album coming out." He was just fucking with y'all.
I loved it because it was like Top was still in YG at the time of that like thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his solo album's not a YG thing, but like, it's okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. So I mean that's great. I love his solo stuff, so I'm
Mm.
very excited for
Mhm.
that. I couldn't be happy for him. Like I just, wonderful.
Mm.
Good.
Yeah.
Be free, my son. Enjoy your life. So
yeah.
go forth and prosper, young Top.
I mean, and then to also get Big Bang back and like it just
It's a very
yay.
exciting time, man.
happy birthday to Jessie.
I
Like,
know.
it's-
You've been doing this on my birth month.
Things are looking up. Things are looking up. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Was Big Bang? No. It was Boa. One of our first music like deep dive episodes we have was Big Bang. so long
Yeah, true.
ago.
That was
we were
for
babies. I'm sure it's I don't even listen to it. I don't even
Yeah,
know what we
I'm
said.
sure that's a special episode.
special episode. So Squid Game news. There a bunch of stuff has happened in Squid Game land world. I don't have all of it down. Here's some of the highlights if you're like we're a fan of Squid Game. I know it took a lot of us. We all really liked it. We have a spoiler episode too on that. But it was confirmed that Squid Game will be back for a second season. There's also a possibility of a third season in the mix. I can see that only because it's so big that I think Netflix is trying to cash into that just
Mhm.
as a thing. Do I think that it needs to be a thing?
No.
No.
But here we are. I probably will at least watch the second season to see what it does.
Yeah.
And then if it catches me, it catches me. Netflix estimated the worth of the first season to be about $900 million. So now you know why they really want a second and third season. You really just want to
Yup.
grab it. Lee Jung Jae, who is in the first one, he was the main character in the first one, is at least going to be appearing in the second one. They haven't really updated any of like the details of it. They haven't started doing anything for it really. So I don't know if it will change to him being like in it as a main character. And right now they're just kind of like wording it to keep, things under wraps and that sort of thing. But the newest big announcement that happened was how many days ago? Not even like a week ago. Like a few days.
Like
Squid Game won 3 awards at the Screen Actor Guild Awards. So the 3 awards that they won was for Outstanding Performance by a Male Actor in a Drama Series. So Lee Jung Jae got that one. Outstanding Performance by a Female Actor in a Drama Series. Hoyeon, who is the main female
girl.
lead.
Mhm.
She's like the main girl. There's a trio that's like the main people in that. She got it. And then the stunt team won for Outstanding Performance.
Good for them.
Or outstanding action performance by a stunt ensemble in a comedy or drama series, which is very exciting. Their speeches are really cute and sweet, and just the way that the cast members, because a couple of the members of the cast were there at the ceremonies with them, and the way that they reacted to everybody was just really nice and really sweet, and they were very exciting. We did get some,
Shenanigans.
stupid reporters being stupid, thinking that Jung Jae is now famous or something. But
I think my favorite one I saw, that was the Maritimer in me just came out there. My favorite one that I saw, not I seen, that I saw was when Hoyeon like does like a deep bow to him, like jokingly, and they're like, "Oh, she collapses after she gets." It's like,
well, and some people were like, "He's such a jerk. Why is he laughing at her when she's like?"
Because
so
that's not what's happening.
Because she
here.
was joking. She was being funny.
Yeah.
So he laughed.
Oh my
But
God.
what I loved was
White
in that,
people gonna
in
white.
that same clip that they show, you see like Sandra Oh was there and she's like talking to them all and having a great time. Like I love that for her, that she's like going to these things and chatting with people and being like, "Oh, I am not the only Korean in the room." Like I love it,
I just wish that these American reporters would stop asking this incredibly famous man
Like,
how it feels to
he
now
has
be
an
famous.
IMDb. I know you all go to IMDb. You can like sit there and you could just like scroll, like it takes you to scroll through his credits, and then you can just like use critical thinking skills and put 2 and 2
Like,
together.
wait a second.
We all have the same Google. You have it on your phone that you have. Like at a certain point, it can't just be.
It gets
that,
embarrassing. It's just embarrassing. Like it's just get it together. Get it together, entertainment reporters.
Yeah.
Get it together. Speaking of people who need to get it together, so in
nice segue.
This is a good segue. So we talk here a lot about crazed fans in the K-pop community and how they need to go and touch some grass and get some therapeutic help. Well, it's not just K-pop fans who are just crazy. Over in Thailand, popular actor whose nickname is Bilkin because of Thai naming things. He was in I Told the Sunset About You and I Promised You the Moon. Very popular shows. Literally had to put out a press release begging people to stop stalking him and his family. So basically, he said that he doesn't feel safe to leave his home because there's always people like parked outside of his house. He keeps changing his number. People keep finding his number and calling him and harassing him. And I imagine it's you get probably a lovely mix of crazy fans and homophobes just being the worst. Don't go to people's houses.
No.
Don't call people you don't know. Don't stalk and
if you have this information, don't share it, because you can't just find people's phone numbers.
No.
Right? Somebody at the phone company or whatever is selling
somewhere.
this information, right?
Don't be that person.
Do that.
get some psychiatric help if you feel compelled to do this sort of thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how famous or much of a celebrity you are. Your private life is your private life. And I feel really bad for him because he's like not he's a young guy, and like they're going to
He's
his
really
like
sad.
mom's house.
I just saw
Don't
that
do this.
Rain and his wife had
Mhm.
had like there was some older woman who kept coming over and ringing their doorbell all the time, and they
Yeah.
were like, "You need to
Like we
go
have
away."
children.
Like they had to call the police because
Yeah.
this woman was at their house all the time, and it's like,
And I think the
Don't
boys
be
are
like
having
that.
a big problem with that. Like the K-pop group, the Boys, right now.
yeah,
Their
I think so,
entertainment agency just put out like a statement that was like, "We are going to send the police after you. You are psychologically terrorizing these men. Just they're not your friends, okay?
They're not.
I know that
No.
this whole parasocial thing has been fun, but like they don't actually know you, okay?"
If you find that you want to do that, that is your clue that you actually do need
Need-
help. This
need
is that
serious
is
help.
your
That is
clue.
your indication.
And
that-
if you
get help.
you know someone else who's doing that, like you have to kind of step in for the safety of them and the person that they're going after. It doesn't matter if you don't think that they will do it. Nobody ever thinks that anybody will do anything, and then they do it.
and then they
So
do.
That's why every
just-
time
can't do this.
you're watching a murder documentary and someone's talking like, oh, the next door neighbor of the serial killer is like, oh, I could have never imagined this. They always seem like such a nice young man. Like,
it's
Thank you,
rarely
I know.
anybody who
I know.
ever actually
yeah.
like think would do anything.
All right, Sky, what's next after Say Sang Report with Natalia? Every month we have the same report, sadly.
So on the front of kind of K-drama watching services and whatnot. Now this is a production company essentially. WATCHA, WATCHA, all caps.
Mhm,
They've already existed a bit because they're already putting out content. That's why I say
Yeah.
that. But they are going to be expanding their services from just video to also music and webtoon.
Ooh, fun.
What's good about WATCHA so far as for say like North American watchers in particular, like for instance, there is currently a BL drama that's out from them. It's a Ron Vicky. So
Mhm.
WATCHA already has at least connections and putting out things
Mhm.
through.
Oh yeah, they're doing Semantic Error.
Yep.
That's them. Yeah.
And they're pretty good, like already with their Twitter and everything. So I mean, they're already really not a huge existence within dramas or anything, but they're putting some out and they're putting them out internationally too, obviously. And they'll be releasing 20 pieces, 3 dramas, and 5 variety programs. So that's good. So that's on the good side of what
But
WATCHA's up to.
unfortunately, there's always a dark side to this.
There is a dark turn.
And you can probably guess what that will be.
If you've been listening to this podcast for the past couple of months, you can probably guess where
this
we're going.
section
with this
that we
one.
don't want to ever make a section, but
Yeah,
we probably have
Always
to.
just keeps coming up.
Yeah, I should just make a little section to talk about that, shouldn't I? So they will be entering into the NFT business with Dunham.
Yeah.
They will.
I'm just gonna give an overarching statement. Most K-pop and starting to be other entertainment company type stuff, they are starting to get into NFTs. They just are.
Mhm.
If they haven't yet, they've
Mhm.
recently announced it. I mean, it's across the board.
Yeah.
So we've talked about that before. I don't want to talk about it again. It's just going to keep being a thing.
Just
is
say
what
no.
I'm
I hate
saying.
it until the
Remember when
NFT market collapses in on itself. It's gonna keep going. So
Yeah.
When we first started, we had our little corners where we talked about crafts and wines and stuff. Now it's like NFTs and sassings and
we're like stalkers and NFTs, the cornerstones of the Noonas news report.
So yeah, just say no to NFTs.
Mhm.
So Amanda, what news story would you like to give us to round out this episode?
Oh golly, that feels like a lot of pressure.
No pressure, no pressure.
I was gonna go with Jackson and dating
Oh,
scandals.
please
but
do.
You know what? I don't know. Like, we all know Jackson's dating. Like, come on, he's Jackson.
Let him.
Like,
Let him
Let
have
him.
his threesomes.
As
in
long as
peace,
the girls are
No-
okay with it too, then
Yeah, like clearly these women don't look like they were being forced.
people.
I don't care,
Whoever.
right? The scandal was that there was a report of 2 pretty girls spending the night at his house.
Good for them.
And like,
Good for them.
okay,
So
I mean, that's
he's
not
a
my
grown ass
business.
man. He cannot like
But
listen.
they are-
They could be just friends, but he could be
They
having
could
a
be.
threesome. Who
And
gives a
that
shit?
That was the
They could be dating.
statement
Who
from-
knows?
That's right. They could be his lesbian friends. We don't know.
We don't know. If they are conscious and consenting, it is not my business.
Yeah,
I
I
just-
care.
But yeah, that's what the agency and the report from the agency, the statement from the agency was, these are his friends. It's not uncommon for Jackson to have friends stay over. And I was like, I don't think that sounds maybe the way you wanted it to sound, because like,
Listen,
if your defense is it's not uncommon, he does this all the time, like that.
good
Are
for
we
him.
surprised?
You know what?
No.
He's a
No,
healthy young
nobody's
man.
surprised.
Good for
Like,
him.
Whenever those like things go around and like, which of your alts could you pull? Everybody always says
Everyone's like,
Jackson,
probably
because
Jackson
he's
Wang, like-
apparently very well known for So I mean, good for you, Jackson. You're handsome. If women want to be with you, that's great. If you have friends who hang out at your house, that's great too. Like, I'm not saying that he is or is not having sex with whoever, but like, if he is, it's not my business.
He
So,
could
like,
have awesome movie watching sleepovers
Like,
that
we
his
don't
friends.
know.
Yeah.
Hey,
They
really
could be
be
watching
I would
anime
love that.
together. Whatever. Let them be.
you know,
Listen,
people
the
do
joke
these
could be on
things.
us. He could be asexual and have been playing us this entire time. We
Yeah.
don't know. We
don't
know.
know.
Whatever, and it doesn't matter because
no.
it's his
So,
life. He can do what he
like,
wants.
Let your idols date. I mean, we start off with dating and marriage news and
Mhm.
babies, and like, we love this for them. So like,
And
bringing
if
it
we
back
if we love
around.
them getting married, we love him having a threesome if he wants to, and everyone consents. Good for you, Jackson.
No.
If that's what's going on.
What I do want for them is if they want privacy, I want them to be able to.
Yeah,
have
to be
privacy.
able to have
Yes.
privacy because it's
Absolutely.
no one's business.
And I mean, if you love the wedding and baby news, you're not gonna get there. Like, there's a step before that. Though. Like,
You're right. So you need to get to, there's the wedding and the
has
baby
to be
news can
allowed
only
to do
happen
the
with this
dating and the
first
sex
initial
if you
step,
want the marriage and the babies. Like, this is how that works, kids. So
I'm glad that Amanda had her corner of this is the birds and the bees with
This
Amanda.
is how sex works, okay?
this is how babies are born. I just need you to
Amanda's
understand.
mom corner.
Like,
Mom corner.
When a mom and when a Jackson and 2 women love each other very much. Sorry, that was in poor Dave. Poor Dave. I take it back.
You know that he would laugh really hard.
That's
though.
We'll probably get a good laugh out of that
since
one.
we know you listen.
Yeah, he's
nothing
our
but
biggest
love, sir.
fan. You
Duh.
know? Oh, why? I gotta stop laughing at my own jokes. I'm not.
You
that
know, one
funny.
day somebody is actually going to listen to this, and we're going to be so like, oh, they actually listen.
Whoops.
Oh.
Now I have no shame. Okay.
Yeah, well,
Can you
I'm
please
not. What am I saying that's wrong?
just
Nothing.
email us? Just like let us know
Yeah.
so we're aware.
Yeah, like, listen, if you're a celebrity out there and who's listening to us and really loves the irreverent take we have on just everything,
everything.
oh man,
We're irreverent, but
Oh,
we're
we'll do
very
a deep dive on
respectful
you.
too.
we respect you, but we will laugh about it. You know? Like, we don't want your privacy to be impinged. Okay,
Mhm.
we love you. So anyway, that has been an episode of Newsnas with a little nugget of the news. There's been so much news that we can't
Yeah.
possibly cover all of it.
A tiny footnote.
Mhm.
A lot of entertainers have COVID.
Yeah, so
A
many.
lot.
Yeah.
So
We could have made that a corner, but it would have been the entire episode.
the entire episode. So what we're trying to say is, no matter what the CDC keeps trying to tell people, this pandemic is not over. You can still
Wash your
get
hands and wear a
COVID.
mask.
Wash your hands and wear a mask, even if you don't have to. I personally shall be wearing a mask for the end of time. Okay,
Mhm.
Y'all people are disgusting, and I'm done. I'm done with it.
Mhm.
And stop expecting the burden of this entire pandemic to rest solely on immunocompromised people and disabled people, which is basically what the CDC has told everyone to do.
And all children under 5.
Yeah, and all children under 5.
Yeah.
Just
Mhm.
fuck them kids, right? Anyway, on that fun note, thank you for listening to our podcast. We hope you had a great time listening. You can find our episodes pretty much everywhere that, podcasts can be found. But if you want links and time codes, you got to go to certifiednoonas.com, our home on the web, where every single episode has its own blog post with all the links and time codes and everything. And it's quite lovely. If you want to support this podcast, you can join our Found Family, which is what we call our little group on the web that supports this podcast. You can go to patreon.com/certifiednoonas to join that. We have little fun extras. We have a movie night every month. It's super fun. If you would like to reach out to us on social media, we are on pretty much all the social medias. It's always at Certified Noonas, one word, but we are primarily on Twitter and Instagram. Those are the places you can find us pretty easily. So we hope you have a great week. You stay safe. You wash your hands. You wear a mask. If you're not wearing a mask, cough into your elbow, for God's sakes. Stay safe and keep enjoying Asian entertainment. Bye.
Bye.